How's it going, you cool cats and commanders? This is Feca's first Alliance Structures guide, and we're going to be going over the Alliance Station and the Forward Operating Base. These are two big Alliance structures that take a lot of people to build, a big alliance to build, hopefully. And so I have Mews here helping me today.
Hey guys, I'm Mews.
As always, and we're gonna go ahead and probably just start with the general how do you build this thing. You see I have a lot of industrials here. This is normally offset by the fact that I have 15 alliance members that will all be kind of chipping in. You could probably each have about an industrial fleet. These are pretty well carded as well. I'll just kind of go ahead and click here. One thing to note is you can kind of see we are clustered. This is first, so it's a little bit quicker to build it. Second of all, for a more realistic approach that you guys should be looking at, this is something you want to be really secure. If you're going for the Dyson victory, it might be something you want to put right here next to the Dyson. This is something that's a very vulnerable point. It's something that people are going to be attacking. So having a good alliance structure around it and not just kind of putting it off in the middle of nowhere is a pretty helpful thing to do. What you do is you come here to station, and some of you may have seen this when you built your second station. You have your FOB here, it's the forward operating base, your station, and then your alliance station. When you click on here, you may not be able to do it if you're not the leader or you aren't given the correct permissions. There's this kind of overview here, and you hit schedule build alliance station. Now, I do want to mention something while we're here. The fact that this info button here actually has a little bit more information than the previous button, which I don't know why this is. But this actually goes over and does a quick little overview of each of the buildings you can actually get in the Alliance Station. It has a warehouse, obviously, which is increasing the amount of resources you can hold. There's the Anchor Command, which increases the maximum number of concurrent Alliance movements. This is talking about your Alliance assaults. You may or may not have experience with that yet. This increases the deployment speed to the Alliance Station, and it does to the FOB as well. It doesn't say that right there. That is a very big one. Alliance traffic control. Anytime you can get speed in this game, it's considered pretty positive. Better manufacturers enable production of ships. There's 3 levels of that, doing the light ships, the heavy ships, and the capital ships. That can obviously be beneficial if you're willing to pump extra resources into it. There's the Alliance logistics base. Increase the operating limit of the Alliance station. This is helpful if you want to be defending your alliance station. You want to be jumping that up. Operation centers enables the construction of FOBs. This is how you do get the FOBs. You saw it kind of in red earlier. There's 3 levels of this as well. And this is, you can actually have 3 FOBs running around. These forward operating bases are things that can move around and they kind of teleport around with your ships. So they're incredibly powerful. So this is obviously something you may want to be rushing a little bit if you have the resources to do so. And the Federal Armory grants bonuses to all Alliance fleets. It's actually making your fleets a little bit stronger in combat. I wanted to go over this just for a second because this info screen is something that's not readily available on the first screen, and I can't find a way back to it after you schedule it. So this is a good time to kind of go over this and maybe take a screenshot of it or something and just kind of hold it dear. So you'll go here to schedule. You'll see an arrival time. This is the arrival time that every Alliance member must meet. So if you set it here, the minimum time, you can see it going up, is an hour from the current time. If you set it to this and all your members can't get to the Alliance station, it will not build. None of the industrials will move, and you'll have to reset it up again. I recommend doing something. We will put it out like a day out or something. Crank this up. Go ahead and put it a day out. Make sure everyone knows. Spam your Discords. Hey guys, we're doing an alliance build. Everyone must chip in. If you're not having everyone chip in, it's going to be very, very, very hard to get up. And you'll see why here in a second when I click schedule build alliance station. You can see it requires 200,000 of each resource. That also means you need 200,000 or 600,000 cargo total. So Mews has been kind enough to go halfsies with me on this, and we'll both kind of go ahead and do half this. I'm gonna exit out and come back into it so you can see what it's gonna look like if you need to do it. And Mews, you can go ahead and add any time. You'll see him pop up. You'll see all the alliance members pop up here on the left side as they start donating, so you can make sure everyone is doing their part. And you can see he's done half of those. So exit out real quick. You'll see on the map this little token. It's still visible from pretty far out, but once again, just make sure everyone knows. Make sure you're always communicating as part of an alliance. You'll go to station, and you're going to be doing the exact same thing. You're going to hit build alliance station. It brings me back to the exact same screen, and I can see the remaining costs since Mews has covered his half. I'll go ahead and type in 100K of each.
Now it is worth noting, guys, that this also pops up on the outliner on the left. New alliance movement scheduled. So you should be able to click on that and it go right to it. You can let your members know that.
When you click on it, it does go away. That's something I was trying to show them, but yeah, when you click on it, it takes you to. That's an amazing point.
That is.
So we got this here now. You'll see it's departing in an hour and 58 minutes. This on the test server, I don't want to kind of sit here and wait 2 hours. So we're gonna have Mews go ahead and speed this up. See if it doesn't knock us out of the server when he does it. Boom, we saw it here. This is a little visual bug. I'll relog here in a second. This is what the Alliance station looks like. It's exactly like one of your normal stations, except for it has some cool force field bubble looking thing. This is pretty cosmetic. So this actually functions just as a normal station. You'll see it pop up in your station list. You can click on it, it brings it to you. You'll see it has its own resource per hour. You guys can all stream to this. We highly recommend encouraging as many members as you can stream to this, because there's a lot of buildings you're going to want to build. It's the buildings we kind of talked about. This doesn't work in the tiered system like before. This is, you can kind of build these all over the place. I've kind of talked already about which ones I think are the better ones. We'll take kind of a second in case, just kind of go through these for the people that haven't built it yet or are kind of looking at it and won't get this exact information. You'll see like it talks about the 3 levels of each. The speed, of course, the Alliance traffic control. Can't talk about it enough. Very helpful. Increasing the spy defense operating limit. And this is all of them. The Century Warehouse, as you saw, and the Alliance logistics base. Now, the one we want to build right now that's pertinent to what we're doing is we will find it. The Operations Center allows for construction and operation of 1 forward operating base. We'll go here to the Operations Center. Of course, I'm in debug mode, so I can just click the plus. And now we have it here. There's no current animations for these yet, or icons, sorry. Those obviously will be coming. Another feature that's not quite in yet, but has been semi-promised, is the fact that if you go here to the shipyard, you can see the send ships to capital hangar. They're adding a button, hopefully, before we get these things up, send ships to Alliance station hangar. And that way, anyone can kind of pick those up, and you can kind of start customizing certain players. Now we'll go ahead and talk about, I guess, sending resources to this thing. Mews, I believe, is starting to send resources. He started streaming resources, so you can kind of see this here. If you go here and you click Hex and you click Transfer Resources, this works exactly like any other thing. You can go ahead. I don't have any freighters right now, but you can go ahead and send it on over.
I will make some real quick and do that.
Awesome.
To demonstrate.
Yeah, well, we're starting off strong. We got 1 of each and 2 crystal, so we're making something happen.
The streams are much weaker than I imagined.
We'll go ahead and do the forward operating base now, if it will let us.
So you can see, guys, I'm sending a freighter there. That's mostly how you're going to donate resources.
Alrighty, so we've added our fleets here. Mews will kind of add in there. One thing to note real quick is if you click this X, it's going to break the whole thing down, and there's no warning message as of right now in this stage of beta.
1 second, I'm typing in numbers. All right, I am scheduled.
And now we have Mews in here, so we can see he's here. He's covered. When you covered, are you able to cover the last bit of the crystal?
Oh, yes, I am. Let me.
Awesome.
Do that here.
Back out and back in. You can actually go, if that happens again, I'm assuming you went to the movements tab, right, Mews? And you can go ahead and click cancel from here. If you do that, you will get all your resources back. If obviously, if they haven't sent, you're in good shape. We have Mews here now, filling in the rest of the stuff. And go ahead and send us forward today, Mews.
All right.
And here we have our forward operating base. This can be up to 3 per alliance, as we mentioned before. And this thing's going to actually have the ability to fly around. We'll look at some of the buildings that are in here. We have increased the jump range by 5 per level. There is a maximum range you can go ahead and jump. Decrease the preparation time. At base, I believe it's 24 hours to jump. Is that right?
It is.
Yeah. And We can increase the speed of incoming deployments by 5 per level with a navigation beacon. This is also a huge thing, especially if you're out in the field and you need to go ahead and resupply this. The hangar bay increased the operating limit of the forward operating base. This is also huge as well. You're going to want to stack as many fleets as you can get on this thing, and the cargo bay, the amount of resources. This is obviously you're going to need to get this up in order to get the rest some higher levels of these. Something I do want to note real quick is how to jump it and how to tell how to jump it. I believe the base range right now is 50, or it's possibly 100 or either. We go ahead and click on station, and all of a sudden you'll have this jump here. When you click that, it'll bring up this thing. It says the distance. It has initiate jump, and it confirms here the jump range was 100.
100.
Yep.
Go ahead and hit it.
All right, we'll go ahead. It should show an animation for everyone, and and right over here on the left, this is something to say. It will be jump initiated. You can go to where the target destination is. And if you're not sure how far the distance is, there is a handy command here. If you go to, we can kind of pop up this chat since you guys can't see it. If you use this command here, the system will tell you the distance from one to another. That'd be 400 hex in distance. So if you kind of want to check out and you don't want to be constantly initiating jump. And here's the animation. It finally came through. This is quite the thing. When I know I see a lot of new players will be like, what's this fog of smoke here? And the joke is death. And it's like, oh, you may have made some enemies. But that's what that is if you see that little... Not to be confused with the debris fields, of course. You can't jump on claimed hexes, so that's something to note. You have a little bit of a barrier between your stations. And after this thing lands, you can immediately again. It says the time remaining. And I hope you guys have fun with this. This is one of the better parts of the game. Yep, here's the jump. We got to teleport it over there. And it can jump around like that. Now, if you send ships to it, to attack it, say if this lands near you, you do want to confront this bad boy. If it can jump away mid-thing, if any fleets from you're attacking from it, say if you're trying to attack and it only has an hour left and your flight is 2 hours away, your ships will slow boat all the way to their home station. So make sure everyone's back on board before the bus leaves. These are some little tips that I think a lot of people may have learned the hard way. Hey guys, I just want to add one quick pro tip here that I forgot to mention earlier in the video. Wherever you are building your alliance station, even before the build, dropping the Stargate here will increase the speed to and from it, and also keep the speed throughout the game on here. So you want to be overlapping a Stargate, as well as a scanner with Night Corps. Night Corps here will increase the spy defense on the Alliance Station. These two outposts do work. The missile battery and the logistics hub do not work with the Alliance Station. I see people asking that a lot. What exactly does work, doesn't work? That's kind of a general rule there. And we always have a Stargate. The Night Corps is pretty useful too, but you got to have that Stargate overlapping the Alliance Station wherever you place it. So make sure whatever Alliance member bites the bullet and agrees to keep the Alliance Station within their claim, he has a level 5 Stargate. So I think that's just about it. If you think so too, Mews, there's most of the kind of points on that. Have a good one, guys. Make sure you join the official Discord if you haven't done that. Of course, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and see you around.
Take it easy, guys.